Hey everyone, and welcome. Ever since women's college basketball exploded into the mainstream consciousness, there's been one question on everyone's mind. Who's the next Caitlin Clark? Or perhaps more accurately, who can dethrone Caitlin Clark? We've seen the headlines, the comparisons, the attempts to manufacture rivalries, but are we getting the real story? Today, we're diving deep into the complex narrative surrounding a legacy, particularly focusing on the phenomenal players, Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins. We're going to dissect the hype, examine the data, and most importantly, explore the pressures and expectations placed on these young athletes. Is the media frenzy helping or hurting their careers? And what does it all mean for the future of women's basketball? Buckle up, because we're about to challenge some assumptions and uncover the truth behind the headlines. We're not just talking stats. We're talking about impact, legacy, and the very soul of the game. Let's get started. Is Juju Watkins being unfairly compared to Caitlin Clark? And are those comparisons detrimental to her own burgeoning legacy? Some argue that Watkins is a superior athlete, but the numbers simply don't reflect that, while some would argue the numbers are not as cut and dry as some might suggest. Others claim that the media is forcing a rivalry where none exists, potentially setting Watkins up for failure. We got Caitlin, we got Paige, we got Rugu. Who do you think will shine the brightest? Well, that's exactly why I'm not picking Caitlin Clark, Matt. That girl Juju, she is the real deal. Right off the bat, we have someone making a bold claim and staking his claim. While many experts would say Caitlin Clark is already shining the brightest, some experts are looking to buck that trend and look into the future, and that future being Juju Watkins. Caitlin Clark isn't just outshining Juju Watkins, she's operating on an entirely different planet. This clip encapsulates the central argument. The speaker believes that Caitlin Clark's impact is so profound that it transcends mere statistical comparison. The numbers back it up in his mind. And Guyu is a bigger baller than Caitlin Clark. They will regret that they took Caitlin Clark number 1 there. Here's where things get interesting. The argument shifts to potential regret by the WNBA for drafting Clark over Watkins. This introduces the element of future potential versus current dominance. It's not fair while Clark is breaking attendance records and drawing millions of eyeballs every time she steps on the court. Watkins is struggling to spark that same kind of interest. The stark contrast in public interest is undeniable. Clark's games are events. Watkins' games, at least so far, haven't reached that level. This isn't necessarily a reflection of Watkins' talent, but rather a commentary on Clark's unique cultural impact. Guyu Watkins is not Caitlin Clark, she's not even close, and the numbers back it up. This is a blunt assessment, emphasizing the statistical disparity. However, stats don't always tell the whole story, especially when considering the nuances of different playing styles and team dynamics. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. She signed my jersey. So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever. Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year. When I love watching her score and just everything about her, they went the extra mile just to watch her play here. This is great news for women's basketball, period. She just brings so much passion to the game. Meanwhile, Watkins' momentum is entirely media-driven. The narrative is being constructed in press rooms, not by fan excitement or actual numbers. Just look at the attendance. Clark's games are packed to the rafters. Scalpers are getting thousands for her tickets. That's never happened before in women's hoops. The speaker suggests that Watkins' rise is artificially manufactured by the media, lacking the organic fan enthusiasm that fuels Clark's popularity. This raises a critical question. Is the media creating a false narrative? And Guyu is a bigger baller than Caitlin Clark. I said it, yeah, I said it, and it has nothing to do with black and the white. The statistics say what everybody needs to be knowing. Guyu is a better athlete than Caitlin Clark. Here, the speaker doubles down on their claim, asserting Watkins' superior athleticism and dismissing any racial undertones. However, the lack of specific statistical evidence weakens the argument. LA is racist, they just won't support Juju Watkins. LA, did they support Kobe Bryant? Did they support Magic Johnson? Yes, they did. The explanation is deeper than racism. Here, we have someone calling out LA as racist. While sports has always had a racial undertone, LA has historically always showed love to its star athletes. If Frugu was allowed to come out in a draft fever, they will regret that they took Caitlin Clark number 1 if they match up in a tournament. 1000% Juju going to pick her up full court. This final claim is a bold prediction of future dominance and a head-to-head matchup. But is it based on realistic potential or just wishful thinking? Okay, so let's put these claims under the microscope. First, the stats. While Juju Watkins is undoubtedly a phenomenal scorer, averaging an outstanding number of points per game, Caitlin Clark's overall offensive game is statistically more efficient and diverse. Clark's assist numbers are significantly higher, showcasing her playmaking ability and court vision. Her three-point shooting percentage is also consistently better, making her a more dangerous threat from beyond the arc. But as I mentioned earlier, stats don't tell the entire story. Let's talk about impact. Caitlin Clark's impact on women's basketball is undeniable. She shattered NCAA scoring records, drew record-breaking crowds, and generated unprecedented media attention for the sport. Her influence extends beyond the court, inspiring young girls and boys to embrace basketball and challenging traditional notions of athleticism. She sells tickets and jerseys in a way that few other players can match. Her cultural impact is undeniable. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you never miss out. Click the video on the screen. See you here.